like it that it's such a different game, that it's relaxing and kind of for everyone, you know, the whole family. And that's what I kind of missed, like in the video games, you know, working in video games after like 15 years. I was like, that's something different. I want to work here.
Excellent. And so what is your role at Giants then?
I'm the PR marketing manager, and responsible for PR marketing. You're probably going to ask me now about what my job actually means. So,
yes. So what does that entail?
Yes. So of course there are various parts now. Like you can split into PR, and then there's also marketing. It's a bit similar in some cases, but I would say like PR is of course talking with press, preparing press releases, and kind of like, especially like the journalist side is very involved there. Marketing, that's more consumer oriented. So trailers are one part of it, or just booking ads in magazines, print magazines, online ads. And the main thing I have to say here is that my job is more like the coordination of everything. We have a marketing department, and we have specialists in each area. So for me, it's like more about the timing of everything. Like when do we release which trailer? When are we saying this? When are we revealing this? Like the John Deere reveal at E3, where we said, okay, this is like an ideal scenario to reveal that John Deere is going to be in the game. And of course, it's not always me, like the only guy who makes the decision. We have partners, or publishers, distributors, that also, do marketing and PR. And then it's more about being in touch with them, so that everyone does the things at the same time.
Yeah.
So if we decide, the best thing is to reveal John Deere E3, no one else should talk about this before. So you always like talking, with people to make sure that no leak is happening and that the assets are on time, or maybe also just prepare assets and then send them to partners.
Yeah.
So, which also means that I don't really program anything in the game. So interesting for our viewers might be that if just like me. To be honest, I've learned a little bit of coding at university, like mainly Java and JavaScript. I'm not sure I could really, code much now anymore. I don't even know I know Java still exists, but it's probably changed in the last 15 years. My mobile phone was really different back then, and now I'm pretty sure programming a game is different than back then. But there's a way, to work in video games, even if you I'm not a hardcore coder or something like that.
So, in your role then, what would sort of a normal day entail for you? Would it be communicating with partners and stuff you've just gone over, sort of on a daily basis? I mean, there'd be stuff that's over longer periods and things like that.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time really like in answering to emails. We also use Skype very much to discuss things on the fly, and it's a lot of it is really arranging like tasks. See, like this has to be done, delegating tasks. But that's only like talking about my day. But of course, if I say, we need this trailer, or we want to do this trailer, and then I go to our video dude, and we talk about it, how it should look like, and then for him the day looks different. He's part of the marketing department, but if you work in the video department, then you spend a lot of time actually in the game, creating these assets. Like first you film everything, and then you're in a video editing tool and cutting videos. So it's different, for everyone in that department. But often it's really talking about what do we need, when do we need it, and then who does it, and then you create it, and then you publish it. And then we also talk with you guys, like when it's more about it kind of started because so many people asked us, like, you and others ask us all the time, so let's proactively give them the news, because that's one part of my job. I'm talking really long now, you know, but,
no, it's fantastic.
It's there's many people asking questions, and many people ask the same questions, and that's when we thought, okay, how can we combine this and then just send out, like, you know, everything together, and then hopefully we get less individual emails as a response. And I think that kind of works now pretty well.
Yeah. So, which aspect of your job do you like the most? Which part of your job is
releasing anything? Is it actually like waiting for, you know, telling you guys that John Deere is in the game was really, really hard. But then finally revealing things. Sometimes, you know, I feel like the players think that we are super mean and we don't want to tell people anything and so on. Very often it's actually the opposite. We want to tell people, but one thing I learned in these 15 years, but I would say like within the first few months of these 15 years, 13 years, was actually that don't promise too much. It was always like, we want to tell you things, and then we are so eager to tell it to you, so we say it, and then things change afterwards. It can always happen. And then when this happens, you've promised it, and you will never get this out of the internet anymore. People, even after 5 years, they will remember, but you said back then that this is going to come. It's like, yes, because we wanted it, you know, in the game, but in the end it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes, you know, we say like, yes, we could announce it now, but it has to be 100%, or at least close to 100%, and then release it.
Yeah.
And that's the same with, like, let's say John Deere E3, when, you know, a lot of people asked us like the month before, is like, when is John Deere gonna come in the game? And we always, there were months when it was close, you know, where we said like, okay, we're really sure it's going to happen. But we said, you know, we can't say anything because it might not happen.
Yeah.
At last minute, someone might pull out, and then we told people, oh, John Deere is going to be in the game. It's not going to be in there. And then, oh, disappointment. So, yeah, that's like the best time is usually when we say, yes, we can tell you something.
Can I just interlude here because there's a few comments?
Yeah, let's go to the
One of them
comments.
that's been hired me up for like the
Why
last
do you talk
5
so
minutes
much?
is Airborne GR says, at Virtual Farmer, please say fantastic.
I was being subtle with it, and I have already done it. I have already said fantastic. Fantastic. So, which conventions do you visit? Is a question from Bingo Bang.
Bingo Bang or Bingo Bang. Which conventions do you visit? Well, there's usually we have E3, Gamescom. Every other year there's Agritechnica. We've got our own FarmCon that we don't just, you know, visit, we also organize. And then there might be some smaller ones coming up. Sometimes we had HeroFest this year. Anything? Well, we keep an eye on a few.
Yeah.
Like a world tour. No, just kidding. Yeah.
And the stuff that you do at events sounds amazing. Does it include working with YouTubers and streamers like us all the time, or?
We definitely, you know, tried, or not just tried. We increased that in the last year, I would say. We always try to work with YouTubers at conventions, like, you know, get on stage, maybe play the game. And what we intensified, that's a nice word actually, was reaching out to YouTubers before, let's say, Gamescom or E3, and also tell them like, hey, we also want you to see the game, and especially like have some quiet time or reserved time so you can have a closer look at the game, maybe backstage somewhere, ideally capture it, which is not always possible, but what we don't really want is like on the booth itself that someone unplugs their cable and then just randomly goes there and captures the game or so. And that's when we say, okay, we talk to you before the show and see what we can make happen, because that's
Vamos começar agora.
Yeah, that was the demo that we gave there. But to be honest, I mean, what you see in the footage was actually me driving. I'm so proud of it, because before Gamescom, we thought, okay, people might want to capture it, or it would be good if people could show something. But on the show floor itself, the build was a bit limited, mainly because, you know, we're still working on the game, and then in the backstage area we could, or in the business center, how it's called, we were able to show it like, you know, ourselves, so we could control it a little bit more. And that's when we thought, okay, again, before everyone asks us to, you know, get a camera and film the demo, we're like, the demo is most likely the same for everyone. Let's just record it and then give people on a USB sticks. They don't have to take their capture devices with them. It's faster. Of course, the downside is that everyone really has the same footage.
Yeah.
But that's why we asked people. We told them, like, you know, you can upload it, but please comment on it, like your own style, so it makes it at least different, and not just take it, upload it 10 minutes, don't say anything, because that's boring.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we, you know, told people in advance.
And a question from Austin Wall that's a bit connected to that is, will you ever visit the US?
We would love to. So I would not exclude it. I mean, I lived in Seattle for a while, so and I've never been to the East Coast. So there are like two things. I want to visit the West Coast again, but I've never been to the East Coast, so I hope we can make it happen at some point.
Question from Martha Million. What's inside the collector's edition?
Oh, they're close now? I read it, it's quicker, you know, my brain, it's a bit late now. There's a game in there, I think.
Excellent.
Yeah. 10 stickers, different brands, and don't make me recite all these brands now. There's a Roper sticker and a John Deere sticker, and I forgot the others. Komatsu is in there too, the stickers here. Farming Sweater beanie, you know, for the winter. This is November, and
good time
getting
for
cold. The modding video tutorial is very good for people that want to create mods. A lot of work went into it, so watch it, appreciate it, and give it a kiss and sleep on it. The Farming Sweater C64 edition,
which is fantastic.
Really good.
It really
you should take a look. We've published some videos and probably some other YouTubers too. It's a fun game. I love this idea. The exclusive DLC content, John Deere XUV 865M, the Gator. Let's say it a bit shorter. Nice vehicle. And a John Deere 7530 miniature. Somewhere in there is a small tractor. And two A2 posters, which have Raven port and Felsbrunn on one side, and then some artwork on the other side.
And relating to that, Ashton Posket asks, is the collector's edition only available for PC?
Yes, the box is only available for PC. There's a PC disc game version in there, so yeah.
Excellent. So, what can you guys do for us here? Really? Yeah, it's streamers and YouTubers and
I can give you a hug. I can give you everything else.
So, I mean, what sort of support outside of events and things like that? What sort of support is there for YouTubers and streamers and
Well, like I said, we try to give you information
A gente não tentando
at the same
fazer o
time
máximo possível
as something
melhorar
goes
a
down,
live.
so that it's not really what let's say what I don't really like the idea of like the guy who always presses F5 and refreshes and stays up late at night is the first guy to get the information. For me, it's more encouraging everyone to take their time, look at the footage, make a good video, not the first video.
yeah?
So that's why we always try to give you video material or information a bit in advance, so that you can prepare for it. We tell you, and you guys actually, it works really well. There are not many leaks. Sometimes they happen when people, you know, daylight saving and or time zones, and they mess up a bit. But we give you embargoes, and then you prepare the videos, and then you all launch at the same time. So it's like a nice cooperation, I think.
Well, from my point of view, it's the lead time has been fantastic, especially on the fact sheets, because I'm unable to create stuff the same day, so it's always has to be the night before, and yeah, you guys have been great in getting that information to me personally, as you know, in plenty of time to do that. So
It's good to hear, yeah.
that's been a very helpful aspect.
It doesn't.
In the lead up to this.
We can't always do it, because sometimes there is information where we say like it's just too risky for a leak to go out, like the John Deere thing.
Yeah.
You know, if I could quick save my life, sometimes I would give it a try and see like, okay, what would have happened if like a week before, you know, the John Deere announcement, we would have told you like, okay, you're gonna be in the game, but please don't tell anyone. You know, until E3, is like, it would not have worked.
And you wouldn't have got my very surprised face on the reaction video.
There's actually maybe one story I can tell. I think I've mentioned it in one of the videos, not this week, but at some point I mentioned it with the John Deere thing. It almost came out because we, or some of us, and some of us are here in the room, I think. Not me.
I'm not looking round.
went to a John Deere dealer, I think, and wanted to record the sound of it before, you know, we actually told you guys that it's going to be in the game. And it turns out that the car is a little bit Giant software branded, and there are goodie bags with Farming Simulator, and there might be some other employee in the store knowing the game and then asking his managers like, who were these guys? Why are they at the John Deere shop? The John Deere's not in the game. And then he actually he asked one of our YouTubers.
All right.
They're like, what have you done there at the John Deere shop? And he went on Skype and called me, and maybe he's watching now. Yeah. And the good thing, what I can actually say is, and I'm glad about it, I didn't know about this trip. So when he said, like, you know, what were you doing there? And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And it was true, because I had no idea what he was talking about. And then he's like, yeah, okay, so yeah, I don't think it was us. And then after the conversation was over, I went to them, I was like, yeah, that was us. Like, guys, be careful. Yeah, so he was onto something, but I convinced him that, you know, it has nothing to do with John Deere coming to the game. That's also part of my job then.
Yeah.
So even I didn't actually believe it when it came on. The reveal trailer, I was like, no.
What is your favourite event? Pino2211_GB would like to know.
Well, we organize FarmCon, so it's my favorite event, but also the most stressful one to organize. Apart from that, Gamescom will kind of always be in my heart. I mean, that's the big European one, and there's so many people, and I'm getting older now. It's getting a bit tiring, Gamescom, but the adrenaline is so high there, because it's just when you're on stage and everyone's screaming, it's insane. E3 compared to that, I think it's a bit of a mixture, like between the business center of Gamescom and the public area of Gamescom, where you have, it's mainly business and way more quiet, but it's not that hectic, I would say.
Just saw a question come through from Mr. Beast. Will the collector's edition ever be available in the US? I believe you can get it from Amazon.co.uk even if you're in the US.
I heard that you could import it, but I mean I couldn't really try it now. But you know, officially it's not gonna be on Amazon.com at the moment, but you could probably import it. Yeah.
Germinator would like to know, what do you like the most about your colleagues at Giants?
Bear in mind, 4 of them are sat there.
So yeah.
So yeah, I have to. About these 4 or the others? No, that's maybe the one thing I like the most is there are several things, but what I really like is that you can't take the piss out of everyone, if I can say that. No, it's like we joke a lot. There's a nice friendship somehow going on here, and the thing is, you know, people are really trying to help each other out. So the thing is, even though everyone has like a fixed task, you know, in theory, it's like you have your job title and you do something. You know, even Video Dude would jump into a cow costume and join us here at the stream. So it's like you know, you want to make something happen, and then you also have to, you know, leave your comfort zone, and I think that's what people really like doing here, and it just helps, you know, doing the job.
So Jagdeep would like to know, how long was FS19 in development?
I'm the marketing guy, I don't know what development.
In which case,
what should we say? It's difficult, I think, to say that. I mean, several years. Because the thing is, it starts, would say, more slowly in the beginning with all the concept and thinking about what should be in the game. And I think if you count that, then it even starts before FS17 comes out, because we're almost done, and then what should we put in the next game? But then later on, the artists come in, and then now, you know, you do QA and you fix the machines, and so yeah, it's like this 2.
I guess there are some aspects of it which take longer than 2 years to develop. But focusing on maybe your part of it, how long does it take to create the box and the graphics and the artwork and stuff for the game, the packaging?
Yeah, that also depends on what you're doing. I think for that box, let me think about it. The first design started probably around April or so, talking about it only. You know, like before you like at the beginning of the year, you kind of try to figure out what should go in the box. Then you have to think about how big should the box be, what fits in there. Like that's also, you know, why the hat is in there, because it actually fits quite nicely in there. And then the graphics, the John Deere tractor, actually, that took a while. We had the box, kind of, we thought, you know, that's how it's going to look like. And that was maybe in July. I think in July we got this artwork after E3, I think, or June, July. And then the screenshots in the back. Oh, I always do this. It's like my eyes. Where's the camera? There. The screenshots, they were one of the last pieces that actually got onto the box, and I think that was even after Gamescom, or around Gamescom, because, you know, especially this garage shot here, the camera here, the garage shot with all these machines, that's like the last piece, you know, after Gamescom, so it took several months, actually, yeah.
Do you go through different like ideas and concepts? Like, do you have different samples? I mean, that come through for the box.
Yes, that's together with our partners who produce these boxes. They come up with ideas, and then it's more or less like you have several ideas, 1, 2, and 3, and then you vote. It's like, okay, let's go for this or that. Then you also have to look at costs, of course, and say, okay, if we put this in, it costs a bit more. And then with the number of boxes you create, it actually matters sometimes. So yeah, I think talking about it is at the beginning of the year roughly, but then the main work starts around was it May, June? So it's 4 or 5 months before release.
quite a lead time.
Well, don't forget that you know the game also has to get in there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So also the game has to be, you know, be done. The disc, so even the game has to be finished earlier because of, you know, us bad marketing people that want to, you know, put the game on the stores. That's why, you know, the developers get pushed a little bit to work faster.
Maglala would like to know, why did some of the manufacturers drop out of the game?
I'm not the guy to answer that, actually, because I never really asked. I don't know, I think.
In which case, looking to the future a bit, Paul, Willie? Will there be would like to ask, will there be a sequel to FS19?
Is always like with the hardware, like mobile. You know, we also had the Switch version at some point, so we have to think, it's okay, where do we go from here? How much of FS19 can we potentially bring to other consoles? So I would say, you know, we're still looking at other consoles and other platforms, but like I said, like 30 minutes ago, don't promise too much.
Yeah.
We want to bring it, yes, but no promises yet.
So moving back to sort of your area, what would you say is, in general, the hardest part of your job, and what is the easiest?
The easiest. The hardest part. I think the hardest part is sometimes when, you know, deciding. I say there are these times when you have to decide between, like, you know, some individual asking for something or wanting something, and then at the same time, you know, you kind of have to spend the time, you know, on, you know, making something for everyone, because it also happens, like, you know, especially like in these days, just before launch, one guy I'm in touch with, maybe a YouTuber, so has a problem, sends an email, but I also have to prepare something that potentially goes out to thousands of people, and I want to help this guy, and sometimes I just have to ignore them.
Yeah.
Because the problem is, if I answer, he's gonna answer back.
Yeah.
So, and it just takes more and more time. So, as cheesy as it sounds, it's like this. In theory, I would love to help everyone, but sometimes the hardest part, but also the most convenient for me, is then to say like, I don't even answer. And the easiest part is maybe I don't know, watch others work. Do this, do that. No, I don't know what the easiest part is.
I was going to say, it's sort of in relation to that, a question from Dinkle Dave. Are you the boss? Oh no, you're the boss of Lissatan. Do you tell him what to do?
Yeah. In theory, yes. I like it more to give people freedom. Of course, it's not chained with like this. Just imagine like this gigantic metal ball next to his leg. He can't move. No, that's not the case. But we talk about the general direction, what we want to do. Also, like when it comes to moderating and posting, it's more about giving him things to talk about. I mean, eventually, yes, it's my job to keep people in line. Especially, I think. Okay, Lissatan, you're probably watching now, but I think there are these times when it's really, really hard for him to not tell your people about good news, like maybe Chondir and others, and then then yes, I have to be the person to tell you no.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell them now. Wait a little bit until everyone else gets the chance to say that.
So comment just come in from Lissatan. I'm joking.
Not coming in tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday anyway.
The Komatsu and French videos were fantastic. How did you plan to create these?
I'm glad you asked that video dude. No, who said that? That was actually